Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'd like to thank you for stopping in and watching. Today we're going to do a review on this Welding welder. It's like one of the cheapest welders you can get on Amazon. And this company reached out to me and asked me to do a full, honest review. However, I want to get into it right now and be upfront with you guys. This thing does MIG, TIG, and stick. It comes with wire. We'll get into that in a minute. However, I'm not going to be able to do any TIGging in today's video. I called the local weld shop, and for everything that I'm going to need is going to be close to 400 bucks. And I just don't have $400 to put into this welder at the moment. So with that said, if you'd like to see old redneck here try and do some TIGging, I've never done it before, but if you would like to see me try to do it, there's links in the description as to how you can support that. And if we can raise the 400 bucks, it's like 300 and it's almost $400. It's 300 and some change, like 80 something. So if we can raise the 400 bucks that we need to go and get the gas bottle, the regulator, the rods, everything that we need, we'll put this puppy to the test. I'll get some stainless steel and we'll try and, well, as a matter of fact, I think I got stainless steel exhaust pipes, so maybe we could see how it does and nonetheless see how redneck does. Well, anyway, this thing can do it all basically. It's 130 amp and it runs on regular old 15 amp 110 outlet. No special outlets needed, just plug it in and go. It's got your adjustment, your voltage and your amperage knobs here, and then it's got, you know, your MMA, which is going to be your stick. It's got your MIG, another MIG setting, which is for the wire that came with it, and then your TIG. And this is like an arc TIG type deal. There's no foot pedal. This is like cheap as the brim to the brim, but it's supposed to be a decent quality machine. And I will say, for it being a cheap machine, it actually looks really nice. Like, the metal's not like too flexible. I mean, it's flexible, but it don't feel like chintzy cheesy. However, this latch here, yeah, it's about as cheap as you can get. Right here's your MIG gun. They fold it up in here for you, which it don't, with or without this spool in here, because it comes without the spool in here. You still can't close this all the way, so I don't even know why they bothered with that. But nonetheless, even letting it hang open a little bit, it's still very portable. But you still have the ground cable that you have to carry around. I would have just rather have seen some kind of like thing on the top here where you could wrap them both around and then clip your thing. Anyway, that's not a big deal. It's a $150 machine, and I will have a link for it down below in the description. I did play with this over the weekend at camp because I had to do a little bit of welding on my golf cart, and I'm going to be a cheater, and I'm going to tell you that it didn't do too shabby. Now, I was also welding cast with it, so yeah. But let's open it up here. It comes with this little spool of wire. There's no make, model, or brand on it, but it says 1 millimeter or size 1.0 millimeter. And it also gives you that option right on the front here. So I spooled it up. It's not too hard to spool. It's very easy. Only downside is to set this properly, you should be able to stop the wire with your finger. If you back this off to even get it to remotely closely do that, this thing will just come loose and spring all over the place. So there's really no fine adjustment on the wire feeder itself. It is what it is. But I will say it really didn't stop it from welding pretty decent. So maybe that's a flaw with the one I have. I don't know, but it's cheap, so there's that. And I would like to say, for the person that's going to buy this, isn't going to be doing any fancy welding. If they're going to be doing any fancy welding, they'd get that Lincoln Electric like I got over there. And that's just a homeowner one. It was like 600 bucks, but it's still 50 times the machine that this is. But for 150 bucks, if you got to weld up something small, little projects, I think it's gonna do it. But we're gonna weld something with it. So that's really all I got to say about it. Let's get into it and weld something with it. Now, you're probably wondering, is all I need is the machine? No. The machine does come with a pair of glasses. I'm not even going to show them in the video because I did use them to see what they're about. They are not good at all. Not good. Do not use them. Do not even try to use them. They are slightly darker than sunglasses and they're not going to do you any good whatsoever. So leave those alone. They shouldn't even ship with those because they're no good. But what I like is this Harbor Freight auto darkening helmet. Now, this is their cheaper one. Their more expensive one has the flames and stuff. Same helmet, no flames. And it's cheaper. I think it was like 40 bucks or something I paid for this. And I've had this for a few years and I've done multiple videos with this. And this thing has actually been great. And it doesn't hurt your eyes. You can weld all day long. The only complaint I have is sometimes these come loose. It just depends upon if you're welding for a long time and moving it up and down. They come loose and you got to retighten them. Not a big deal. It's $40 helmet. You can change it right here. So we have ours set, you know what I mean? But it auto darkens and you can see clear as day. See if you can see through that. I'm going to see. You can see clear as day through it until it auto darkens. Then it's real nice. And we picked up these Lincoln electric gloves, which is, this stuff is what I have for my Lincoln, but these gloves are like 20 bucks and I've had them a heck of a lot longer than I've had that. And look, they are in great shape. You can tell I've done some welding with them. I do recommend a welding blanket. We put a welding blanket up here on this bench. We're gonna weld some stuff and we're gonna see if I catch anything on fire or not. So we're fitting to see that, boys. But before we do that, I want to go through what it comes with. Let's go ahead and open this so you guys can see it. So it comes with everything that you need for TIG, on the exception of you need gas and you need a flow meter and you still need to buy tungsten and your rods. But it does come with everything else needed for that. Here's your rod clamp for the stick welding. I will definitely say that this is like on the cheaper side of things. And I have a feeling you're gonna eventually have to like replace this end of it. Or maybe tighten it down. It might be loose. We'll have to look into that at a later date. I'll get some rods and we'll... But the copper in here is thick, beefy copper. This wire seems to be pretty thick. That's nice thick brass on there. They did do good job there. And last but not least, it comes with the welding clamp. Now, I never was a fan of these welding clamps, these style here, because they don't really grab your work very well. But they will get the job done nonetheless. We're about to find that out here in a minute. And again, they use copper, and then this just looks like stainless steel, to be honest with you. No copper on there. The wire looks like it's copper, maybe a copper clad end or something, cheap stainless end or something, and then brass. Whether that's real brass, I don't know. Nonetheless, it's $150. You can't expect too much out of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and set this thing up. Get our ground clamp on here. It just spins right in. Real nice, actually. You don't have to fight it, nothing. It goes right in. We're going to go ahead, and I'm just leaving this thing on the settings that I had when I was welding the golf cart, and we'll see what they do. Hopefully you guys can see this. I cleaned up these pieces. I'm going to try and weld it like so. Let's see if she holds. Get our gloves on. Now guys, the last welding videos I've done, I've had people kind of complain that it was bright. So, which Your TV screen is not bright enough to blind you. So I don't know, but put on some sunglasses or something and join me. Let's I'm gonna try and weld right over here and kind of get this dialed in, and then we'll start over here. Well, I mean, that's not bad. Hey, I think we're gonna send it right there, bud. Let's see what kind of bead we can get. Now, keep in mind, I am no professional. I've been welding for years, but I'm no professional, and not to mention I'm used to that welder, not this one. But I will say this one does weld nice and smooth, so. Wow. I'm gonna weld this the other side too, just to kind of see what we can get. But wow, actually, wow. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay guys, we'll let that cool, and then we'll, didn't look like I was catching anything on fire, did it? We'll chip that slag off. Tell you what, from what I can see, that's a pretty nice bead, and this is thick steel. And it looks like it penetrated very good too. It was nice and hot, and it's real, because this is a cheap welder, it's kind of hard to figure out where your settings need to be. But I did have that on 91 amps, because it's hard to get it on like 90. So I did that at 91 amp. You know what? Guess I could kind of crank it up. Let's see. And do one of the sides here, huh? We'll do one full 130 just to see what it does. Just see what it does. That, yeah, let's let this cool off and then chip all this stuff off here. So guys, I will bring you in for a close-up. And I'll tell you what, the spatter is actually minimal. Not a bad bead, not bad penetration at all. The spatter's minimal, and I will tell you right now, you know the Harbor Freight 90 amp welder? I had one. I had two of those actually. This thing blows it out of the water. We've only used it on this and then the golf cart, but wow. Let me bring you guys in for a close-up. Check out that bead, guys. That is not that bad at all by any means. Let's lay it down. I would say it actually did a half decent job. Wow, half decent job. Huh. Now I know you guys are gonna ask, how's longevity on this welder? How long is it gonna last? How long can you weld for before it shuts down into heat protection? Well, this is an inverter welder, and those stay cooler. I can't answer that, but it did this like no problem, no tomorrow, and it was smooth, very minimal spatter coming from that cheap wire that came with it. I'm gonna have to see how this welds, and then because I actually like that wire that came with it. I have no words for a $150 welder, and keep in mind I wasn't welding this for something that's going on somebody's stuff, so we just kind of ran through it. But if it was something that was being built for somebody, we'd have took more time and prepped the material, and this is just rough, and I hit it with a wire brush, or wire wheel actually, and man, she did good. So I can't say that I recommend it, but I can't say that I don't recommend it, because I do recommend it. I just don't know how long it's going to live. However, it is a nice welder for the money. It's not bad. It's not too cheap. It looks good. It's got good looks to it. The handle's real nice. I carried this around camp. It's light. It's very light. So it's not real heavy to carry around or lug around. So if you need to take it to your campground or somewhere and do a small job or something, there you go. As for the TIG, if you guys like to see that, support my channel with the links down below, and I'll have a link down below to this welder so you can check it out. And as it stands right now, I give a thumbs up on this, but if you're one of them guys that want to wait to pull the trigger, wait until I use it for a while and give a like a 1 year review, because I will do a 1 year review. And I will make it a point to use this welder for any of my welding stuff, just to see how it does. So, all right, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see here, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell notification. And check out our links down below. That all them links help the channel any way that you can. Leave me a comment on what you think. This is a Vevor, V-E-V-O-R. welder. Check out the link for that. Peace out, guys. We'll see you in the next one.